If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. And this, you have the power to revoke at any moment. What if I told you that the moment someone hurts you and you don't react the way they expect, smiling instead of fuming, you instantly gain a kind of power that terrifies people? Imagine being untouchable, calm in the storm, while others crumble around you. It sounds unbelievable, but this isn't some fantasy. It's the ancient wisdom of Stoicism in action. In today's video, we're diving deep into the surprising psychology behind why Stoics smile when they're hurt, and why that simple act can disarm, intimidate, and even confuse people. This isn't just philosophy. It's a life hack for handling criticism, betrayal, or pain with unmatched composure. Stay with me till the very end, because I'll reveal a key Stoic strategy that you can start using today. A strategy so simple yet so powerful that it will completely change the way people respond to you when life hits hard. Trust me, missing this part would mean leaving your inner power on the table. Number 1, Stoics control their emotional reactions, not external events. Imagine this. Life throws a curveball at you. Pain, disappointment, insult, it hits you hard. And yet you notice someone standing there, calm, collected, even smiling in the face of it. That's the power of Stoicism, and it's terrifying to people who don't understand it. The truth is, Stoics have discovered a profound secret. It's not the events themselves that disturb us, but how we respond to them. Said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. Think about that for a moment. You can't control what the world throws at you, storms, mistakes, betrayal, but you can always control yourself. And once you realize that, everything changes. You see, most people react reflexively. They lash out, crumble, panic, or stew in anger because they've handed over their inner peace to forces outside themselves. But a Stoic doesn't do that. You can start practicing this today. The next time something hits you, maybe a harsh word, a frustration, or a setback, pause. Just pause. Feel the impulse to react, and instead of surrendering to it, breathe. Step back mentally. Ask yourself, is this within my control? Can I change this? 9 times out of 10, the answer is no. And when the answer is no, you can choose calm, dignity, and composure instead. Here's the exciting part. This isn't some abstract idea. It's practical, it's immediate, and it's empowering. You can train your mind like a muscle. Start small. When irritation bubbles up, don't let it take over. Observe it, name it, call it out. Ah, anger, I see you. That tiny act of recognition weakens its hold over you. Seneca reminds us, we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Much of the pain we feel is created by our reactions, by the stories we tell ourselves. If you can rewrite those stories, even a little, you start to bend reality to your will, or at least your perception of it. Think of it as building an inner fortress. Each time you control your reaction, you cement another brick. Over time, life's storms don't shake you the way they used to. You begin to smile when others frown, not because you're naive or indifferent, but because you've learned the incredible art of emotional sovereignty. And that's why it's terrifying to some. It exposes their vulnerability, their dependence on external circumstances to feel secure. You, however, can step into a different space entirely. You can respond with clarity instead of chaos, with strength instead of surrender. Practical steps. Here's what you can do right now. First, practice a daily check-in. Ask yourself in the morning, what might try to disturb me today and how will I meet it? Visualize challenges calmly, not with dread. Then, throughout the day, when you feel irritation, sadness, or frustration rising, pause and breathe. Visualize that moment as a test of your power, not a punishment. And at night, reflect, not to blame yourself for reactions, but to notice growth. Where did you remain calm? Where did you surrender? Awareness is the cornerstone of change. The path isn't easy, but nothing worth mastering ever is. You'll start to notice something remarkable. As you control your reactions, you stop giving the world the power to dictate your inner life. You'll smile more, not in denial, but in triumph. That smile is a signal. You are the master of your mind, and no circumstance can take that away. Remember Epictetus' words. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Take that to heart. Choose your reactions deliberately. Train your mind. Step into the quiet, unwavering power that Stoics have known for centuries, and watch the world shift, not around you, but within you. Number 2, pain and setbacks are seen as opportunities for growth. Pain and setbacks aren't just random misfortunes, they're invitations. They're life knocking at your door and asking, "Are you ready to rise?" The Stoics understood this deeply. Epictetus once said, "Difficulties are things that show a person what they are." When you get cut off in traffic, when a plan collapses, when someone betrays your trust, you can scream, sulk, or spiral, or you can pause and see it for what it really is, a moment to strengthen yourself. You have the power to look at the sting of life and, instead of shrinking from it, flex your inner muscle. Think of pain not as punishment but as a teacher, harsh, uncompromising, but utterly honest. Every setback, every jab, every moment that makes your chest tighten is showing you where you can grow, if only you're willing to lean in. You might feel the instinct to avoid discomfort, to smooth it over, to distract yourself. That's natural. But here's the thing, the Stoics urge you to lean toward it. Reminds us, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. So next time something hurts, don't resist. Pause, breathe, observe, ask yourself, what is this moment teaching me? Which part of me is being challenged? Where am I capable of growing that I didn't know I could? This isn't just abstract philosophy, it's a practice. You can start small. When you feel irritation, frustration, or fear, instead of immediately reacting, take a breath and name it. Say to yourself, here is impatience, here is anxiety, here is discomfort. By numbing it, you're stepping out of automatic reactions and stepping into conscious choice. That is power, that is growth. And don't stop there. Ask yourself what action you can take in the moment that aligns with who you want to be, not who the pain wants you to be. Pain loses its sting when you engage with it rather than running from it. You might not feel like a hero. You might feel raw, exposed, or angry. That's okay. Stoicism doesn't demand you feel nothing. It asks you to feel and then respond wisely. Journaling can help. Spend 5 minutes writing down what this setback is teaching you. What can you control? What can you influence? And what is completely out of your hands so you can release it? This simple act turns confusion into clarity, frustration into strategy, and weakness into insight. Another exercise is reflection at the end of your day. Close your eyes and replay the moments that hurt, moments that tested your patience or resilience. Instead of reliving them as wounds, replay them as training grounds. Imagine yourself responding differently, more calmly, more intentionally, more aligned with your values. Each night, you're rewiring your mind, teaching it to see every challenge as a stepping stone, a gym for your soul. Pain doesn't get to dictate your day. You get to dictate your response. Here's the subtle but terrifying thing for others. When you adopt this mindset, your calmness in the face of adversity becomes magnetic. People who crumble at minor setbacks notice it. They feel the difference. They don't understand why you can smile when the world pinches you, why you don't flinch at discomfort. But you do. Because you've trained yourself to see the hidden gift in every trial, the opportunity that lurks behind every wound. You've chosen to grow where others complain. You've chosen to turn pain into power. And that, my friend, is something that silently terrifies those who still let life dictate their mood. So start today. Pause, observe, name your discomfort, ask what it's teaching you, take deliberate action that aligns with your values, reflect at night, repeat. This is how you turn setbacks into stepping stones. This is how you smile when life hurts. This is how you become unstoppable. Number 3, detachment from outcomes creates calm and fearlessness. Think about it for a moment. How often does the idea of what will happen haunt your mind? How often do you feel tense, anxious, or even terrified, simply because you're imagining outcomes that haven't even occurred yet? That's exactly where Stoics draw their power. Said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." When you start practicing detachment from outcomes, something extraordinary happens. A calm begins to bloom inside you, steady and unwavering, even as the world rages around you. You stop being a puppet of chance, of other people's opinions, or of the unpredictable twists life throws at you. And here's the thing, when you cultivate that calm, fearlessness naturally follows. Detachment doesn't mean you stop caring. It doesn't mean you abandon effort, ambition, or joy. It means you place your energy where it actually belongs, on the process, on your choices, on your own responses. You stop giving invisible strings to external events and start rooting yourself in what's truly yours, your mind, your attention, your values. Seneca reminded us that we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Isn't that wild? Most of our panic, our dread, our sleepless nights, so much of it is self-inflicted, a product of surrendering to imagined futures. When you detach from outcomes, you begin to separate your peace from the chaotic, uncontrollable external world. You discover a reservoir of calm you never knew existed. And here's the secret. Fear dissolves when it realizes it has no hold over you. You start to smile when others panic, not because you're detached from life, but because your mind is free. You're not shackled by what ifs or maybe this will happen or what if I fail. You understand at a deep level that life can hurl anything at you, and while you cannot always control what comes, you can control how you stand when it does. You can breathe, you can observe, you can respond with clarity. And that is terrifying to the world because it's rare. Most people are constantly bending, reacting, trembling before outcomes. But when you detach, when you internalize this practice, people notice. They feel it. They sense your unshakable calm. So how do you cultivate this? Start small. Begin by observing your thoughts as if you're a witness, not a prisoner. When worry about the future creeps in, pause, ask yourself, is this within my control? If it isn't, let it go. Literally. Breathe in, exhale, and release the need to manipulate the outcome. Next, immerse yourself fully in the action you can control, your choices, your effort, your attitude. Anchor yourself in the present moment. Would remind you to focus on what you can control and let go of what you cannot. Let that be your mantra. And finally, practice gratitude for the process itself, not for any particular result. Celebrate your discipline, your resilience, your commitment to living consciously, regardless of how the world responds. You'll start noticing subtle shifts immediately. The tightness in your chest loosens. Your mind stops bouncing from fear to fear. You approach challenges with a quiet curiosity rather than a panic-driven frenzy. You'll even catch yourself smiling at adversity, not because life isn't tough, but because you are tougher. And every time you do, your internal fortress grows stronger. Detachment from outcomes is not just a mental trick, it's a full-bodied practice. It is a habit that transforms every encounter, every decision, every fear into an opportunity to assert your sovereignty over your mind. So take this seriously right now. Practice observing without clinging, acting without expecting, and breathing without judgment. Let life throw its worst at you and feel the calm swell in your chest. This is how you become unshakable. This is how you become fearlessly alive. Number 4, others are unsettled by their unshakable composure. When you start practicing Stoicism, one of the first things you notice is how people around you react when life hits hard and you don't crumble. When you stay calm in the face of chaos, when pain washes over you and yet your demeanor remains unshaken, it unsettles people in ways you might not expect. They expect reactions, yelling, panicking, complaining, but you don't give them what they're looking for. You smile instead. You breathe. You take a step back and let the storm pass over you without dragging you into its fury. And that's what terrifies them. Once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." When you internalize this, it changes everything. Your emotions no longer dictate your actions. Your thoughts guide them, and the world doesn't quite know how to handle that. You see, most people live as if life owes them comfort, as if every slight or setback should trigger a chain reaction. They're used to seeing pain mirrored outwardly because it validates their own discomfort. But when you hold your ground, when you greet adversity with calm, when you almost seem to invite the challenge instead of recoil from it, you create a ripple of uncertainty around you. Others feel it. Your composure is like a mirror held up to their own fragility, and they don't like what they see. That unease isn't a reflection of your weakness. It's a reflection of their expectations being shattered. And the more consistent you are, the stronger that ripple becomes. You can start cultivating this unshakable presence today. Begin with simple exercises that train your mind to stay steady. The next time something small irritates you, someone cuts you off in traffic, an email comes with bad news, a plan goes sideways, pause, breathe, count to 10. Then respond in a way that aligns with reason, not raw emotion. It might feel unnatural at first. It might even feel lonely. That's okay. The goal is not to suppress feelings, but to acknowledge them without letting them control you. Epictetus reminds us, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Let that sink in. Your reaction is your power. Own it. Start noticing the difference in how people respond to you. At first, they might test you. They might poke at your composure to see if cracks appear. Stay steady. Smile. Let your calm be your silent answer. Practice being fully present in discomfort. Meditate on adversity, not to dread it, but to familiarize yourself with it. Imagine worst-case scenarios and walk through them mentally without panic. The mind, once trained this way, becomes a fortress. And when people see that, they feel something unfamiliar. They feel respect, a little fear, maybe even awe. But mostly, they feel uncertainty because they don't understand it. And here's the secret. That's exactly the advantage you want. Adopting this habit transforms how you experience life. Pain no longer has the power to derail you. Criticism no longer pierces your sense of self. Challenges no longer feel like threats. They become opportunities to practice, to grow, to demonstrate resilience. Your unshakable composure isn't arrogance, it's mastery, and mastery is magnetic. People may be unsettled, even intimidated, but you are free. Free to act with clarity, free to move with intention, free to meet life exactly as it comes without letting it dictate your inner state. This is the essence of Stoicism, and it begins with small, consistent actions, noticing your reactions, pausing before you respond, and gradually choosing calm over chaos. So start today. Smile when life stings. Breathe when the world presses in. Stand still when others tremble. Let your composure speak louder than any outburst could. Over time, that quiet strength becomes a force of its own, something people notice, something they can't shake, something that terrifies not because it's threatening, but because it's real, steadfast, and entirely in your control. Number 5, smiling signals mastery over internal turmoil, not weakness. When you see a stoic smile in the face of hurt, it's easy to misread it. You might think, they're pretending, they're weak, they're avoiding reality. But the truth is far more powerful. That smile isn't a mask, it's a declaration. It's a signal that the storm raging inside hasn't won, that chaos and discomfort haven't taken control of their mind. Once reminded himself, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. That's exactly what the smile communicates. It's mastery, not avoidance. You, too, can learn to wield this kind of power, And it starts with understanding that every reaction you have to pain is an opportunity to train yourself, to prove to yourself that your inner world is yours alone. You might be thinking, how can a simple smile convey all that? It's deceptively simple. Think of it as a statement to the universe and, more importantly, to yourself. I see the challenge, I feel the discomfort, and yet I remain unshaken. When you choose to smile in moments of hurt, you're practicing a subtle but profound discipline. You're telling yourself that emotions don't have to dictate your actions. The pain may be real, but your response is your choice. Epictetus taught, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. A smile becomes a tool, a way of asserting that your internal state is not hostage to external events. It's a silent yet radical act of rebellion against suffering. And you can start small. Begin by noticing the moments when irritation, frustration, or sadness starts to rise. Take a breath. Lift the corners of your mouth. Hold it for a heartbeat. Feel how it shifts your perception, even slightly. That small act is a seed of control, a practice in showing the world and yourself that mastery is possible. This isn't about faking happiness. It's about grounding yourself in the truth that emotions are fleeting, but your mind can be steady. You can decide that you won't be carried away by anger, by hurt, by fear. In fact, try this exercise. When you're struck by discomfort, pause and ask yourself, do I want this moment to control me, or do I want to control it? Then smile. Even if it feels unnatural at first, even if it feels like a quiet rebellion against instinct. Over time, that deliberate act rewires how you relate to internal turmoil. You start to internalize the Stoic principle that your mind is your domain. Pain loses its ability to dominate, and your confidence grows silently but unmistakably. You carry a quiet, unshakable power that others can sense even if they don't fully understand it. And here, the key, smiling in pain doesn't just signal mastery to others, it reinforces it within you. Every time you choose to meet discomfort with a calm exterior, you're practicing resilience. You're training your brain to navigate adversity without unnecessary drama. You're sending a message to yourself. I can endure. I can observe. I can rise above. That's a habit you can cultivate daily. Start by integrating moments of deliberate calm into your routines. When you feel irritation flare, when anxiety gnaws at you, or when frustration rises, soften your expression. Lift your lips. Breathe. Feel the power that comes from aligning your inner state with your outer demeanor. It's a quiet, personal victory every single time. So when the world sees a Stoic smiling through pain, they might feel unsettled. They might wonder why the suffering doesn't break them. That's because you're learning something profound. True strength isn't loud, it isn't flashy, and it certainly isn't reactive. It's the calm, deliberate mastery over your own mind. And you have the chance to embrace it right now in this very moment. Smile. Own your response. Transform your pain into power, one deliberate expression at a time. The choice is yours. So next time life hits you hard, remember, pain is inevitable, but how you respond is your superpower. The Stoics didn't just smile through suffering. They mastered the art of turning hardship into strength. If you let this mindset sink in, you'll notice something amazing. People will start underestimating you until they see your calm in chaos, and that will terrify them. If this video gave you even a glimpse of that power, hit like, share it with someone who needs to see it, and subscribe for more Stoic strategies that change the way you live, think, and react. And remember, real strength isn't loud. It's quiet. It's calm. It's a smile in the face of life's storms. So go ahead, face your next challenge with that Stoic smile. You might just scare the world in the best way possible.